A heavy cavalry charge is thundering toward you. 2,000 pounds of horse and armoured knight moving at 30 miles per hour. The ground shakes. You are a peasant holding a wooden stick with a crude iron tube lashed to the end. You don't run, you wait. You light a fuse. And then a high-pitched scream tears the air. Scream! A lead ball punches through the knight's breastplate like it's paper. The horse collapses. The invincible warrior is dead before he hits the mud. The weapon you just fired is called a pistola. In Czech, it means whistle. It is the great-grandfather of every firearm used today. That word travelled across borders and centuries to become the English word in your vocabulary right now. Pistol. This weapon didn't just kill a knight, it killed the entire Middle Ages. And the man who put it in your hands is Jan Žižka. Before diving into these forgotten stories of survival and suffering, if you enjoy learning about the hidden truths of history, consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more content like this. And please comment below to let me know where you're listening from. I find it incredible that we're exploring these ancient stories together from different parts of the world, connected across time and space by our shared curiosity about the past. History loves the young and the beautiful. Alexander the Great, Napoleon. Jan Žižka was neither. He enters our story as a 60-year-old wreck. One eye is already gone, gouged out years ago, leaving a scarred, flat patch of skin on his face. He is destitute, a minor noble from Trocnov who spent decades as a mercenary, doing the dirty work that kings were too polite to mention. He wasn't a hero, he was a survivor who knew the ugly mathematics of a street fight. But in 1419, the Kingdom of Bohemia wasn't looking for a hero. It was looking for an executioner. The Catholic Church had just burned the reformer Jan Hus at the stake, sparking a religious rebellion that threatened to tear Europe apart. The Holy Roman Emperor Sigismund, the Red Fox d'Astiquis, marched on Prague with the full blessing of the Pope. His mission was simple: exterminate the heretics, burn the villages, kill the men, silence the rebellion. Sigismund had the finest army in Christendom. The Hussites had farmers, women and priests. It looked like a slaughter waiting to happen. But Žižka saw what the emperor missed. He looked at these terrified peasants and didn't see victims. He saw engineers. He saw a workforce that could turn farm wagons into mobile fortresses and threshing tools into weapons of mass destruction. The test came immediately, March 1420. The Battle of Sudomierz. Žižka is caught in the open. He has 400 followers, including women and children, and 12 farm wagons. Charging at them are 2,000 Iron Lords, the elite royalist heavy cavalry. The odds are 5 to 1. The terrain is a trap, the sun is setting. By every rule of warfare, Žižka is a dead man walking. But as the Iron Lords lower their lances and spur their horses, they aren't charging into a battle. They're charging into a meat grinder. Geography dictates destiny. Žižka knew this. He stood on a narrow dam between two fish ponds. To his left lay the deep waters of Lake Markovech. To his right, the empty bed of Lake Shkarady, a drained pond that looked like solid ground but was actually a deep, sucking quagmire of soft clay. He positioned his 12 wagons across the dam, creating a makeshift barricade. Then he waited. The royalist commander, Bohuslav of Schwamberg, looked at this formation and laughed. He saw a dead end. He saw peasants trapped against the water. The Iron Lords didn't bother with a strategy. They didn't scout the terrain. Why would they? They were the tanks of the 15th century. They lowered their visors, creating a narrow slit of vision, and spurred their horses forward. They aimed for the dry pond bed on the right flank, intending to sweep around the wagons and butcher the heretics from behind. The charge began with thunderous momentum. Hooves tore into the earth. But as the heavy war horses hit the bed of Lake Shkarady, the ground swallowed them. The clay, deceptively firm on the surface, gave way. The momentum of the charge vanished in seconds. Horses sank to their bellies, thrashing in panic. Knights in full plate armour weighing over 60 pounds tumbled from their saddles into the muck. And then the trap sprang. The Hussite women had done something peculiar before the battle. They had taken off their long veils and spread them across the mud. To the knights, it looked like refuse or laundry dropped in panic. But as the dismounted knights tried to wade through the sludge, the jagged rewels of their spurs snagged on the thick fabric. They tripped. They fell face first into the suffocating clay. This was the moment Žižka had engineered. The Hussites didn't fight with swords. They fought with tools. The primary weapon of the Bohemian peasant was the flail,